judiciary officially opened the new law year 2026 during a ceremony held at its headquarters in Kampala. The function was graced by the Vice President, retired Major Jessica Alupo, who represented the President.
Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, I am happy to be once again part of this occasion of the opening of the new law year 2026. The judiciary plays a big role in the socio-economic transformation of our communities in line with the focus of the NRM government to develop Uganda through promoting wealth creation. The NRM government is committed to fostering economic transformation through eradicating poverty, raising household incomes, and moving away from subsistence production to a market-oriented production and commodity value addition. As you are aware, the focus of the government in the next 5 years under the 4th National Development Plan is a tenfold growth strategy, which includes prioritizing agro-industrialization, tourism development, science, technology, innovation, including ICT, and the creative industry. And the annual resources like mineral-based industrial development, including oil and gas. These have a number of enablers, such as protection of wildlife resources, environment, energy, preventing and containing climate change, as well as infrastructure and human capital development. All these critical areas involve land, investment, and transport infrastructure, which are prone to disputes. We therefore need a supportive judiciary that will quickly resolve disputes and liberate these key factors of production for further use and or reuse. This is also important for the success of the parish development model, so that land and other resources necessary for production are not made redundant due to disputes. The judiciary, therefore, positions itself to be more creative, innovative, and strategic in devising mechanisms for quicker resolution of disputes to avoid frustrating our people and our investors, and also to promote harmony and reconciliation among the disputing parties for peace building and coexistence. I am very happy that the judiciary in the last few years has expanded the coverage of courts across the country in order to deliver services efficiently and effectively. This contributes greatly to the preservation of peace and security when people know that they can receive justice quickly, fairly, and cheaply.
President Museveni also urged the judiciary to ensure cheap, efficient, and easy access to justice for all Ugandans.
Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, I am made aware that the judiciary, through the transformation agenda, recently gazetted 38 High Court circuits and 8 Court of Appeal circuits across the country in order to bring court services nearer to the people. I am also aware that each district was gazetted as a magisterial area with a chief magistrate's court and a magistrate grade 1 court at every county or constituency. This is truly very impressive and shows focus and visionary leadership in the judiciary. I undertake to support the operationalization of these courts so that we provide our people with cheap and accessible justice. The lawyers or advocates play a key role in ensuring that justice is delivered to your clients and the people of Uganda very quickly and fairly. You must therefore be committed, act professionally, conduct yourselves ethically, and be available when required to help the courts resolve the disputes expeditiously. Embrace and promote alternative dispute resolution, including reconciliation, in resolving cases, which can help in eliminating case backlog. Lawyers must not be the cause of delayed justice by playing delaying tactics and behaving unprofessionally. Lastly, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, and your team, I congratulate you once again upon the opening of the new law year 2026.
The Chief Justice, Dr. Flavian Zeija, highlighted key achievements registered by the judiciary in the year 2025, noting that over 205,000 cases were disposed of, although the arm was faced with challenges.
Backlog was concentrated in the High Court divisions and the circuits, followed by the Court of Appeal, Constitutional Court, and the Supreme Court. The High Court carried the largest share of pending cases at 89.216, including 27. Key milestones included completion and handover of Rukunjiri High Court and the Budaka Chief Magistrate Courts near completion of Soroti High Court and several institutional housing projects, and continued construction of Mbarara and the Guru Court of Appeal circuits. High Court circuits, Chief Magistrate Courts, and Magistrate Guru Courts at various stages were completed, reflecting sustainable investment in expanding judicial service delivery infrastructure. Information and communication technology. During the review period, the judiciary strengthened its digital and performance management infrastructure. IKIMIS was rolled out to 23 court stations, while CAS was installed in 22 additional courts, expanding automated case tracking nationwide. Court recording and transcription systems were installed at Mpigi and Kitugum High Court, and 17 video conferencing facilities were deployed across key courts with support from UNDP and World Bank. In parallel, the performance enhancement tool, what we call PET, was launched and piloted for Chief Magistrate and ICT staff, laying the foundation for data-driven performance management and accountability. And this PET is going to be a game changer because it has some other aspects of it we have not yet operationalized. Transport and machinery equipment. 57 vehicles were procured for ease of transport for judicial officers, especially for enhancement of land justice through locus in court visits and motorcycles for service of court process. Additionally, 2 generators and 8 solar systems were procured and installed at our courts at Hoima, Kasese, Ibanda, Bulisa, Chiriandongo, Mitiana, Karenga, Rubirizi, Kachira, and Bugembe. Public awareness. The judiciary held a second National Court Open Day under the theme Enhancing Judicial Accountability and Access to Justice. 26 court open days were also conducted in 12 high courts of Arua, Bushenyi, Entebbe, Hoima, Kitugum, Kumi, Masindi, Mpigi, Patongo, Rukunjiri, Tororo, and Wakiso, and 14 magistrate courts of Namayingo, Nakasongora, Karangara Islands, Kapchorwa, Kawempe, Bujuko, Nakaseke, Shema, and Buvuma Islands, which was held with support from UNDP. The Judicial Strategic Plan 5. The year 2025 marked the end of the 5th Judicial Strategic Plan 2020-21 to 2024-2025. This strategic plan had 7 strategic objectives spanning from access to justice, case management, use of ICT, workload, workforce and institutional capacity development, partnerships, public awareness, and resource mobilization. Overall, the plan substantially achieved its intended outcomes, delivering marked improvement in service access, case disposal efficiency, backlog reduction, and public confidence, with public trust in the judiciary rising from 59% in the financial year 2017 to 18 to 82% in the financial 2024-2025. If you read the National Governance, Peace and Security Survey of 2024-2025, this is significant. It shows the confidence the public is developing in judiciary.
While opening the new law year, the Chief Justice outlined the judiciary's priority in the year 2026.
Judges and magistrates and administrative staff for all the courts, we shall continue to seek support of stakeholders for the gradual recruitment of justices, judges, registrars, magistrates, and court support staff to the required numbers. This will help us to ensure that judicial services are extended to all Ugandans in a timely manner. We shall also push for more for recruitment of more officers at two levels. We have the office of the DPP. We have the office of the Attorney General. We must move in tandem with them, otherwise we cannot expand and leave them behind. Otherwise, we shall not achieve our intended goal. When I was principal judge, I had 80 courts where I had judicial officers, but they had no DPP staff. So we must move together as a team so that we achieve these services together. And Your Excellency, we shall also be coming to you on this, which should be a holistic approach to labor needs. Performance management and accountability. Late last year, we launched the performance management tool, what we call PET. We shall focus on linking more courts to PET. PET ensures that planning, budgeting, and evaluation are interlinked for early defined results. All staff of the judiciary must be held accountable for effectiveness and efficiency, and we shall prioritize value for money adjudication. And my lords and your worships, on this, you can count me that I will not relent. I will be knocking on your doors. If you are not a person who is ready to perform, I think that will be our point of departure. Now, we shall also use technology to do performance monitoring, and we shall also continue performance quarterly performance reviews. When I was principal judge, we introduced quarterly performance review for high court judges, and we intend to roll out this performance quarterly performance review for all court levels, so that every quarter we meet and assess how we have been performing. If you are a non-performer, then you will see yourself. You will present yourself before others to defend your non-performance. Prioritizing election petitions. As you know, this year is for general elections in Uganda. It is our resolve that all election petitions filed in the court are timely heard and determined. We are mandated by law to hear parliamentary election petitions within 60 days and presidential election petitions within 45 days from the date of filing. All is set to ensure these timelines are adhered strictly. Promoting court open days. Your Excellency, like I indicated at my swearing in as Chief Justice, court open days will continue to be conducted each quarter so that performance is disseminated about the courts and our services and the expectations to the common person are explained. At the same time, we receive feedback through these court open days. We shall, in addition, develop a registry manual. The registry operations manual will be developed to provide standardized procedures of managing storage, retrieval, and disposal of documents. This will improve information access to court users and help courts maintain institutional memory. We have, given that we are becoming digital, we need to improve the way we archive, because we shall be having software archives. So we need we shall come up with a manual to regulate some of those things. Championing further legal reform. Some outdated rules of procedure and case management practices are still contributing to delays in processing. These shall be reviewed and modified. We shall improve case management practices and procedures for reducing case processing timelines, avoiding delayed hearings and delayed judgments. And we already have a committee in place which is looking at all the laws that need some kind of relook. We shall include the members of the bar plus the Attorney General's chambers into that committee so that we look at all the laws which we need to amend to ensure that we can make the process of justice seamless. We shall establish a case sieving system at the level of case registration to remove cases which are not fit to be in the court system. And this sieving system will both work at the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court. The Supreme Court currently has so many cases which are not deserving to be there. But in order for you to say that they shouldn't be there, you must put up a quorum to do so. So we shall find a way of putting in place a sieving system. We shall also increase the jurisdiction of magistrates and reduce the number of steps in the litigation process. This process is before the Attorney General already for drafting, and we hope that when we increase the jurisdiction of the magistrates, the cases that come to the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court will significantly reduce, but they will also help to reduce the cases which are before the high courts. Equipment and infrastructure. We shall continue building and renovating court buildings across the country. New court buildings will incorporate aspects of wellness for staff of the judiciary. ADR needs and child care requirements will also be catered for. We shall also establish institutional houses for our officers, starting with hard-to-reach areas. This we are already doing. What has been happening is that our judicial officers, when we post them up country, sometimes they have nowhere to stay, especially in the hard-to-reach areas. So we are constructing staff houses. We have done so in Buko, we have done so in Nabiratuk, we have done so in Karenga, we are doing so in Nyarushanje, we are doing so in Rubuguli, and we shall continue processing those institutional houses. Introduce artificial intelligence for recording and transcribing court proceedings, as well as a judgment writing tool to assist judicial officers process judgments quickly. I think we are already pre-testing a judgment writing tool, and part of it will be AI powered, so that if you are writing a judgment, the moment you put in facts, you should be able to pick authorities. But my lords, as I have always warned, artificial intelligence can be also dangerous. It might give you fake cases which you will quote before their lordships. And then also you also quote it in your judgment. Fake cases which the lawyers bring on board, or AI brings on board, and then you include them in your judgment.
Justice Dr. Flavian Zeija also pledged to address online attacks and criticism targeting judicial officers, noting that such attacks affect them professionally and personally.
Policies will be developed to regulate its use and guard against risks such as algorithmic bias. So we shall come up with the guidelines on how we shall employ AI within our court system. Excuse me. Judicial well-being. As the old English adage goes, a healthy body is a healthy mind. The theme for our just concluded Judges Conference for the year 2026 was judicial wellness, a tool for effective case management. The judiciary is alive to the fact that our staff, both judicial and non-judicial, can only master new tools and manage complex dockets if they are physically fit, mentally sharp, emotionally resilient, and fully supported. We have therefore made it a priority in this year to ensure that all staff of the judiciary are in good state of mind and body to function effectively and efficiently. I've already issued a directive for all courts to hold aerobic classes at least twice a week, in addition to other interventions like gyms that we have in appealed buildings. And all new buildings we shall construct will be having a gym for purposes of caring for our health. However, I must state that these judges process a lot of things. The awareness is fundamental. When you are hearing a murder case and you are looking at the photos of the deceased, people who have been cut into pieces, to process that is difficult. So these judges do not want additional trauma from social media. And I warn that I will not hesitate to take action to whoever is, maybe I should emphasize this. Apparently I was told that people create fake social media acts just for what they call, they call it status. I think the more people who follow you, the more money you earn. So they create those fake news against judges for that purpose, because a judge is a person occupying a higher position in society. So if you create something fake and then you get more likes, then you earn money in that respect. So we shall take action. That one I can assure you. We shall not allow our judges, in addition to the trauma they face from cases, to suffer the social media trauma. That is not to say that I will protect judges who are doing wrong things, but we must protect our judges and judicial officers against unnecessary attacks.
The Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Nobati Mao, pledged government support towards the judiciary.
The court should not just exercise individual power of the learned members of the bench, but also institutional power. You also warned those of us who are addicted to paper that our days are numbered, that you are going to ensure that the judiciary is paperless. So we stand warned. You stressed three things about the things that you expect. And I thought the way you laid it out was very good, because sometimes it is better to tell people what you expect of them rather than point out where they have failed. So you stated that you expect three things of your colleagues on the bench. Number one, integrity. Number two, knowledge. Number three, judgment. Now, knowledge, there is abundance of it, because that's what the schools supply. Everybody here is LLB, Deep LP, LLM, PhD, LLD, and so on and so forth. There is no school for integrity. It is an individual choice, because in this country there are two spaces. There is a space for doing good things, which is abundant. There's also a space for doing bad things. So one has to choose which space one wants to excel in. And integrity is about doing the right thing. Judgment rests on knowledge and common sense. Then you hit the ground running. And that is the speed at which we have been moving until we arrived here this morning. It has really been active. Because immediately on the 29th, you launched the second National Court Case Census Report. There was the first one launched by your predecessor. Now you launch the second one. I think that tradition is good, because data-driven management is really the name of the game. The story doesn't end there. Immediately you hosted the 27th Annual Judges Conference on the theme of wellness, which the Attorney General gave some advice on. We hope in private he will disclose what works for him. Human beings are all very different. I was pleased to join you on the day of the dinner you hosted in honor of the Chief Justice Emeritus. And I repeated the words that Her Excellency, the Vice President, read to you, to make sure that our courts are really African courts. Today I had a lot of complaints about how hot the wigs are, and the people who were standing next to me were complaining about the heat, and I imagine there will be some changes so that their lordships are liberated from this burden of the wigs. Of course, attire is important, but they should be comfortable. I think that's the most important thing. Whatever innovation you are going to design should give comfort. I also heard rumors that the wigs cost about 25 million shillings each. So you may save a lot of money when you innovate something else. In that conference, you made very important resolutions. Myself and the learned Attorney General commit that we are going to receive those resolutions and continue being the mouthpiece of the judiciary, both in Parliament and also in Cabinet. And we also commit that we will not abandon you as you pursue the promise by the President that sooner rather than later, the judiciary will reach the 800 billion shilling mark, which is a promissory note that was handed over to the Chief Justice Emeritus. It is now up to you to go and cash it. We hope it is not returned marked insufficient funds. And this claim is logical in the sense that the judiciary cannot be left behind by the other two co-equal branches of the Ugandan state. We sometimes give private companies more than 800 billion shillings. So why can't we give it to the...
While calling for increased access to justice, Minister Mao dismissed claims that the judiciary is not trusted by the public.
Most of the quarrels in this country are about human rights, generally. And the liberty of citizens should be at the heart of judicial action. To our partners, we recognize that there is a turbulence in the world today, and the financial infrastructure has been disrupted by those who make decisions in your capitals based on ideology rather than a wide lens perspective on the needs of us who you call your partners. We applaud you, particularly the chair of the Partners Committee, Dr. Katia, for continuing to mobilize resources amidst a lot of difficulties. And let me stress that we appreciate the opinions you share with us. People who are in partnership should tell each other the truth. To be honest, sometimes we don't like what you tell us, but we encourage you to continue telling us. We shall also tell you the truth because we also have opinions and we also have a right to explain why we do certain things in certain ways. I think that's the essence of partnership. Genuine partners should be able to disagree without being disagreeable. My Lord, the Chief Justice and our guest of honor, I urge everyone here not to believe what they see on social media, that the judiciary is not trusted. Even chicken thieves in the village cry out, "Take me to court, take me to court." Why do they want to go to court? Because they trust the courts. Even hardened criminals, robbers, all sorts of bad elements, they want to be dragged before the court. That is the greatest vote of confidence you can get. I mean that as a consolation. And I know that social media can make you sick, and I urge for moderation in paying attention to social media, because you may think you are not making an impact. The truth is, the number of people who are bringing cases to court has increased over the years. There's greater confidence in the judiciary, and it is going to increase because of alternative dispute resolution, which the judiciary has led and the executive branch followed. Your Excellency, the Vice President, you have worked with us on this journey of alternative dispute resolution. And that is going to be the silver bullet that will make justice affordable for most people. Finally, today, as we celebrate the arrival of the Chief Justice, we also have to thank the Chief Justice Emeritus, surrounded by the team that he worked with. My Lord, Chief Justice Emeritus Alphonse Chigamoy Owindolo, you have led with firm principle, but with a light touch. You are never heavy-handed. A Chief Justice is a very powerful person, but I don't think many people really felt your hand, but they knew the principles you stood for. I wish to urge you, my Lord, our Chief Justice, now to continue on that path of leading with firm principle, but with a light touch. Thank you very much.
The Attorney General Senior Counsel Chiriwa Chiwanuka cited over 40,000 pending cases countrywide, emphasizing the need to address case backlog.
The new appointment, my Lord, brings with it fresh challenges. It opens opportunities for new wins and, of course, growth ahead. We wish you the very best and offer our continued support. We, the members of the bar, take cognizance of our pivotal role in making justice accessible to the people of this country. The theme of this year's annual Judges Conference was Judicial Wellness, a tool for effective case management, which is a clarion call for all of us to recognize the human element behind every court order and judgment. The efficacy of our legal system is inextricably linked to the physical, mental, and emotional health of the men and women who sit on the bench. Our judicial officers operate, Your Excellency, our judicial officers operate under immense pressure, hearing cases ranging from murder, rape, commercial and land disputes. Burnout and occupational stress are institutional risks that can undermine the quality of justice and public confidence in law. We do acknowledge the work they do is important, but among the most demanding in this country, given that you exercise judicial power in the name of the people in conformity with the law, the values, works, and aspirations of the people of Uganda. Therefore, by prioritizing wellness, we are not slowing down justice, we are ensuring its sustainability. A healthy judge is more attentive, impartial, and efficient. A judge's health matters in the dispensation of justice. Fitness ensures consistent, attentive hearing, and this strengthens the confidence in the justice system. Let health issues not affect decision-making. I urge all members of the bar, therefore, to practice law with civility and understanding and professionalism that reduces the unnecessary friction in our courtrooms and stress on our judicial officers. We, the lawyers, are guardians of the rule of law. By professionally defending our clients' rights and freedoms, the rule of law is echoed and inevitably strengthened. I take cognizance of the various issues that have been raised by the members of the bar at different fora regarding the impropriety in administration of justice. The issues that directly concern the judiciary include delayed resolution of disputes, absenteeism, case backlog, among others. Court decisions and awards are not in tandem with common legal practice, including the principles of stare decisis, among others. I will not tie in advocating for relative uniformity in court decision, awards, and sentences, and timely disposal of cases and delivery of judgment. Resolving these issues directly impacts the productivity of the bar, enriches the jurisprudence, and enhances peace, stability, and economic growth of our country. The above notwithstanding, the good health is the bedrock upon which all forms of wellness rest. A judicial officer must possess the stamina to sit through long court sessions, sometimes extending into late into the evening. You must have the physical capacity to travel to remote areas for circuit courts and locus visits, often under very challenging conditions. You should always strive to make your health and well-being a non-negotiable priority. Schedule regular medical checkups and take advantage of the insurance duly provided by the judiciary. Incorporate physical exercise into your daily routine, even if it's just for 30 minutes. Eat balanced meals. Remember, every time you compromise your health, you are actually compromising the quality of justice you can deliver. Your body is your primary working tool. Maintain it diligently. The country needs it. Psychology demands of judicial, the psychological demands of judicial work are immense and often underestimated. You encounter human tragedy daily in form of cases of abuse, violence, betrayal, suffering, and even death. You must make decisions that alter lives, sometimes irreversibly. You bear the weight of knowing that every judgment you write may be scrutinized, appealed, criticized by lawyers in practice, and even the Judicial Service Commission where there's a complaint against the judicial officer. Always remember to acknowledge that seeking psychological support is a sign of strength, not weakness. I encourage you to create peer support networks within your association where you can discuss challenges confidentially. Practice stress reduction techniques such as meditation, mindfulness, or whatever works for you. I know what works for me. I will not share with you, my lords. You may be misunderstood. Take your leave days, disconnect from work during such days. The state of our judiciary, Your Excellency, is now grounded in empirical reality. The year 2025, the National Court Case Census revealed that we are managing a case backlog of about 190,000 pending cases. The numbers keep shifting and changing, and I think the last census changed it a little bit. The case backlog stands at 24.2%, a reduction from the previous year, and we applaud the judiciary for that work. But still, a significant hurdle to our national development. Perhaps most critical to our national vision is the revelation that about 14.2 trillion is currently locked in pending civil litigation. Every day a commercial dispute remains unresolved is a day the capital is kept out of circulation. The commercial court alone handles 1.72 trillion in unresolved value. Resolving this case is not just a legal duty. It's an economic imperative that will boost investor confidence and support to the National Development Plan 4. I applaud the top management of the judiciary and the government of the Republic of Uganda for the achievement registered at the close of the 5th strategic plan, particularly the economic court management system, the re-engineering of ADR mechanism, and the professionalization of the workforce. I sincerely thank the Chief Justice Emeritus and the Deputy Chief Justice Emeritus and the Principal Judge, as he then was, for steering the judiciary through this transformation. It is my firm belief that this achievement shall be a foundation upon which the new Chief Justice Honorable Justice Dr. Flavian Zeija shall further build. It is in this vein that I must recall.
The Attorney General also pledged to strengthen cooperation between the bar and the bench to improve service delivery to Ugandans.
During the panel discussion on ADR, the perspectives from the bar and private sector, the Solicitor General gave an undertaking that our office, the Office of the Attorney General, would see to it that the national policy on ADR is adopted into our law and that the Singapore Convention on Mediation is domesticated. I have said this in the presence of Her Excellency, the Vice President, who chairs Cabinet, so I am sure when the policy comes before her, she'll remember my public declaration. The domestication of the Singapore Convention, Your Excellency, will position Uganda as a credible center for international commercial mediation and complement the judiciary's effort to re-engineer ADR and effective case management strategy. I urge us, my lords, your worships, members of the bar, to restore bar-bench relations. As lawyers across the divide, we ought to be professional and exude ethics above reproach. As a practitioner, allow me to thank the members of the bench, from the Chief Justice to the Magistrate G1 who are rendering judicial service to the land, and our colleagues in the academia grooming the next generation. Therefore, the missing link here is the bar. It is my firm resolve that the year 2026 will come with greater unity between the bar and the bench for greater good and dispensation of justice for the people of this nation.
The ceremony was attended by justices, judges, magistrates, registrars, advocates, the Deputy Inspector of Government, Dr. Patricia Chan, and other dignitaries.